think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
The comparison, listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been.
He tried. You catch him, he want to catch you back. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, he's not. Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Canelo has responded to Terence Crawford accepting Floyd Mayweather's fight offer with high praise, acknowledging that Crawford has become the superior fighter. He emphasized that Crawford deserves full credit for his accomplishments, calling him amazing and highlighting his skill, timing, and versatility across weight classes. Canelo stressed that Crawford has earned respect throughout the boxing world and that both fans and experts should recognize his greatness.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and everything.
Greg Hackett offered his perspective on Canelo's praise for Terence Crawford, highlighting the difference between Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather and Crawford's later victory over him. Hackett noted that when Canelo fought Mayweather at just 23, he was still developing as a fighter and lacked the refinement and experience he has now. In contrast, Crawford faced Canelo at the height of his career, when he was already the face of boxing and among the sport's most accomplished champions. Hackett emphasized that this context makes Crawford's win even more impressive, as it came against Canelo at his peak, unlike the younger, less seasoned version who fell to Mayweather.
Heard that what I think is, when Floyd beat me, I was 23, I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying, I do give Bud his credit though for beating Canelo, and Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight. So that's why I'm saying it's tough to say that.
Joe Rogan expressed genuine admiration for Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing the remarkable feat of moving up 2 weight classes at the age of 37. He pointed out that very few fighters in boxing history have managed to challenge and defeat an opponent of Canelo's caliber at that stage in their career. For Rogan, this was more than just a win. It was a historic moment that showcased Crawford's greatness and cemented his reputation as one of the sport's most extraordinary athletes.
It's like you're watching, like, wow, towards the end, towards the final rounds, really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Yeah. Something special. And
something really
30,
special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah. One of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrecked. I'm like, fuck you. You know, I could barely go bowling.
Watching Crawford in the later rounds was jaw-dropping. He got comfortable, took control, and dominated the fight. Moments like that feel historic. You're seeing someone accomplish something that seems impossible. Moving up to a new weight class for the first time and taking on one of the greatest fighters of all time, then performing like that, it's more than exceptional. At 37, most fighters wouldn't even be able to do that. Crawford isn't just an outlier, he's a true anomaly. Something rare, something extraordinary. By any standard, his performance was unbelievable.
Tough 154 pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even smell, may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 54.
Paulie Malignaggi shared his thoughts on the ongoing debate over who is the greater fighter, Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford. He pointed out that such discussions will likely never reach a definitive answer, as each fighter belongs to a different era with unique challenges. Malignaggi emphasized that while the debate is fascinating for fans and analysts alike, it's ultimately endless. He acknowledged Floyd's flawless record and legendary career, while also recognizing Crawford's ability to dominate multiple divisions and defeat top-tier opponents. For Malignaggi, it's the conversation itself, the analysis, the comparisons, and the debates, that keeps boxing exciting, even without a clear conclusion.
The GOAT, oh absolutely, but Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that backhand, the way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too? Man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counterpuncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep. I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits harder than him.
Timothy Bradley shared a striking opinion, suggesting that Terence Crawford has the tools to take on Floyd Mayweather as well. Bradley highlighted Crawford's combination of intelligence, adaptability, power, and technical skill, noting that these qualities could challenge even Mayweather's legendary defense. He pointed out that Crawford's ability to adjust mid-fight and his precise timing would make him a formidable opponent, even against a prime Mayweather. Bradley's comments reflect his deep respect for Crawford's abilities and his belief that the Omaha fighter deserves to be counted among the sport's all-time greats. In his view, Crawford isn't just an elite boxer, He has what it takes to compete with the untouchable.
Let's see Bivol, Bud next, since Bud's so strong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol is the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat. Who's Bivol on Floyd's resume?
Some experts in boxing suggest that for Terence Crawford to surpass Floyd Mayweather's legacy, he would need to take on a truly monumental challenge, such as facing Dimitri Bivol. Known for his size, skill, and dominance at light heavyweight, Bivol represents a test that could further elevate Crawford's standing. These voices argue that a win over Bivol would solidify Crawford's place above Mayweather, proving he can defeat a prime, larger, and highly technical opponent. Such a victory, they contend, would remove any remaining doubts and establish Crawford as one of the greatest figures in boxing history, achieving feats beyond even Mayweather's record.
And Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6th division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top 3 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight and became undisputed there.
Reports indicate that Terence Crawford is setting his sights on making history as a 6th division world champion, a feat achieved by only a select few in boxing history. Already celebrated for dominating multiple weight classes and defeating elite opponents, Crawford's drive to reach even higher underscores his relentless desire to challenge himself. The prospect of him moving up to middleweight has stirred excitement throughout the boxing world, as it would pit him against naturally bigger and stronger opponents in the 160-pound division.
He faced at welterweight and became undisputed there. The next glamour division is middleweight, 160, that Marvin Hagler, made famous, many middleweights, Sugar Ray Robinson. It's a glamour division, right? Sugar Ray Leonard moved up there, Tommy Hearns, that's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I would say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there. He's the IBF WBO champion.
Adding more excitement to the scene, Janik Alcornely has publicly challenged Terence Crawford, urging him to step up and face him at middleweight. Alcornely, an undefeated champion building a strong reputation, views this as a chance to secure a career-defining fight against one of the era's greatest boxers. For Crawford, taking on such a challenge wouldn't just be about legacy, it would also be an opportunity to demonstrate his dominance in yet another weight class. Whether the fight happens or not, the prospect alone has sparked discussion among fans and analysts, making Crawford's next moves some of the most anticipated in boxing today.
Beat Terence Crawford. What did you do to actually get a win over him?
I agree with Augie. With what he said about Floyd, I'm going to say about Crawford. You got to punch with Crawford. You got to counter Crawford and punch with Crawford. You got to bang the body with Crawford. You got to stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. As I remember, that's exactly what I did. Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like, he kind of like cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. He cut his height down and I stayed in his chest, and you gotta counter Crawford. You gotta fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup. I thought, maybe he fought his fight.
I thought he
fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think
Because,
I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I'll go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, with Bud, I thought, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah.
And Gamboa, showed parts of that. And Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you.
Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? Every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Analyst reflected on the story of Miguel Silky Smooth Gonzalez, the last fighter to beat Terence Crawford back in their amateur days. He noted that defeating Crawford today would demand extraordinary preparation and skill, much like facing Floyd Mayweather in his prime. The analyst emphasized that Crawford has evolved into one of the most complete fighters in the sport, blending defensive intelligence with pinpoint offense. Just as Mayweather's style confounded challengers for years, Crawford now carries that same aura of invincibility.
Absolutely, but they're probably thinking the way we were all thinking, that just because of the weight he should be okay because he's the naturally bigger man. But someone like Crawford, obviously, who's done what he's done, you have to be on the top of your game. And I felt with Canelo, it was probably too many single shots that he was throwing, but he wasn't throwing the usual singles and backing it up because he was getting counted. And
he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, it wasn't just that Canelo was bad, is what I'm trying to get at. Crawford was absolutely sensational on the night and the deserved winner and one of the best.
Because the other side of the argument would be that they actually thought they might be getting Crawford at the right time because they hadn't fought for a while and had some particular surgery. I mean, did it go, as I said to you at the top of the show, Bomac, I mean, I watched you in the corner and I thought it was a exercise in how a corner should be conducted in terms of the communication, the coherency of it, and the discipline behind who spoke, when they spoke, what they said, and what needed to be heard. Did the fight go exactly as you had mapped out in your mind and what you thought would manifest itself? Is this your last fight? Which really annoyed me with Max Kellerman going in and making that the stop part of his questions. Do you think, Bomac, that he gets the recognition and the appreciation that his achievements merit?
Definitely not.
Why do you think that is?
I think because of the simple fact that Terence is his own man. He knows the path that he wants to go. And some of the boxing critics or some of the boxing people around boxing figure he should go this route or he should go that route. When he didn't go that route and he went this route, he's ducking the other the other welterweight, so he's ducking the 140 pounder. No, he's not ducking them, he's just not available. Well, he should have went this way. I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to go this way because that's the way I wanted to go.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer, shared his perspective on the victory over Canelo Alvarez. He described the fight as smooth for Crawford, highlighting how thoroughly prepared they were for every possible scenario. McIntyre also addressed criticisms about Crawford's career decisions, noting that fans and analysts often suggest opponents they think he should face. When Crawford chooses not to take those fights, accusations of dodging arise. However, McIntyre dismissed these claims, emphasizing that Crawford is following his own path rather than meeting others' expectations.
But if you study Floyd closely like I have, you will notice that he never wastes any steps while he's in the ring. He will pivot just enough to take away the angle from the person in front of him, then he will reset in the center of the ring, and his movement and his footwork was just perfect. And it was his feet that made him control every single fight, putting him in the perfect position to defend punches. Then that small little sidestep either way to put him into the position to be able to land punches back. And he would also use his front foot to apply pressure with them small little steps, waiting for that moment to land them punches. And if you train boxing, you should be constantly working on the specific footwork things that you need to work on, because you might agree with me, but without good feet, nothing else matters.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.
Tony Jeffrey added to the discussion by highlighting the unique qualities that made Floyd Mayweather nearly untouchable in his era. He explained that Mayweather's brilliance extended beyond defense to include exceptional footwork, timing, and the ability to outthink and outmaneuver opponents. Jeffrey noted that Floyd's movement was nearly flawless, allowing him to frustrate even the toughest fighters. He also reminded fans that Mayweather defeated a series of legends throughout his career, reinforcing his status as one of the sport's all-time greats.